Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for being with us today after almost 70 sessions, welcoming over 5,500 participants that have joined us from all over the world. We are truly honored to welcome none other than Ms. Nadine Müller and Ms. Vera Suarez from the GovTech Lab, Luxembourg, on the topic of accelerating public service innovation. A little bit of our fantastic speakers' background. Ms. Nadine Müller, since March 2020, is an advisor at the Ministry of Digitalisation in charge of the GovTech Lab, Luxembourg. From April 2019 to March 2020, Nadine was managing director at 601, an entity in Luxembourg offering individualized support programs for social entrepreneurs. From 2014 to 2019, Nadine was in charge of the Social and Solidarity Economy Department at the Ministry of Labor. Ms. Vera Suarez has been appointed government advisor at the Ministry of Digitalisation in March 2019. She coordinates the evolution of e-government and several initiatives such as the GovTech Lab in Luxembourg. Prior to joining and supporting the creation of the Ministry of Digitalisation, Vera was in charge of the international cooperation at the Ministry of Higher Education and Research of Luxembourg. On the moderator side, we have my dear colleague Alex Panican, Head of Partnerships and Ecosystem Development at the Loft. Prior to joining Loft, Alex was a marketing and teaching associate at the University of Quebec in Montreal and a serial entrepreneur creating companies in the space of e-commerce and alike. At Loft, Alex used to travel the world connecting fintech entrepreneurs with the local ecosystem and has been a master of ceremony, interviewing thought leaders from all walks of life. Without further ado, Nadine, Vera, Alex, the screens is yours.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you. It's been an amazing journey to do those webinars with you. The energy you put at the beginning changed the whole game. Thank you so much, Anthony. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our last virtual session of the year. Yeah, it's time that this year passed by and move to another thing. After 70 webinars, still we kept the best for the end. Many of you have asked us what's the GovTech Lab and how to work with the government in Luxembourg. Those questions didn't come just from Luxembourg, but we had entrepreneurs from Japan asking us this question. And by the way, thank you for being with us today. So if you guys in Japan are interested in how to work with the government in Luxembourg, we had to do something. And today you are lucky because not only you're going to discover in the next hour how to work with the government, but you can interact with them and ask your question. So thank you so much, Vera, Nadine, for being with us today. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. I'm just back from a webinar in Morocco. So digitalization has potential to do many things. So I'm just back from Morocco. No.
Which explains your time. Sure.
You got
a nice time.
Yeah, sure. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone from the Loft for this kind invitation and to get the possibility to present our new project of the Ministry for Digitalization in a transformative area as it is the digitalization of public services. So Nadine?
Yes, please. You can start sharing your presentation. So to all the participants, please drop your question in the chat and we'll take them either during the presentation if it's something that's not clear or at the end. Please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So the Ministry for Digitalization is a very young ministry, as you may know. We were created in 2018, but before us, there was already the Center for IT of the government. So the Government IT Center is CTIE, which is actually one of the actors in Luxembourg to digitalize public services in Luxembourg. So as a new ministry, we try to accelerate even more the digitalization process of public services and as well bringing innovation and how to cope with new solutions, new technologies, and mainly GovTech. We together, with the CTIE, we tried to develop a concept to accelerate the e-government, so digitalization of public services. Nadine, can you bring on the next slide? Yeah. And together with this acceleration of the e-government and bringing more innovation and how to bring more innovation and to bring other actors to this process, we based the GovTech Lab in a procedure of open innovation. So we try to bring in this whole development new ideas, new solutions with the help of new actors. So but before CTIE worked more like developing the solutions, technologies for the ministries, for the public administration in a more centralized way. They outsourced it in a very regular way, like the public procurement. And so we try to bring something new, more open, maybe more easy as well. And so that's why we combined it, this wish of accelerating digitalization in public services, combining it with open innovation, which for us is mainly to bring in other actors. So next slide, please. So, but before that, GovTech is a very new term. So you heard already of fintech, which is technologies for finances. You heard of medtech, so technologies for medicine, biotech, etc. But there is actually GovTech. So these are it's not so specified, but it's actually to bring in technology that that facilitates, that makes governments, public administration more functional, more easy, more efficient, more easy to use, you know, the bureaucracy, less paper, more digital, speeding up everything, the whole process, all administrative processes, etc. So it's more the GovTech is basically bringing in efficiency and innovation in the way you communicate, the communication between public administration and national actors, so citizens or companies. Okay, next slide. Yeah, there's for us a huge potential in GovTech, and we base it basically in 3 dimensions. So we try actually in this whole process, we try to be a facilitator and to support the administrations in their relations with the citizens, in their relations with companies, and in the and between the administration. So the whole digitalization process and the potential that GovTech has is actually in these communication processes. So it's the G2G, so government to government. It's the G2C, so government to citizens, but as well the government to companies, to businesses as well. Next slide. And just to let you know, so GovTech is a very young term. So there was creators from Israel. Is actually an innovation platform. They analyzed how many initiatives there are internationally about GovTech, and there are around 24. So maybe the GovTech Lab is the 25th, let's say. But anyway, there are not really many of them, and actually it got the boost this year. So as you may know, I think this year was a bit crazy with COVID and how we have to work from home, the remote. So it was actually a push because the public administration everywhere in the world, they had to assure the functionment, and they had to assure how to cope with the situation, because they cannot just stop working, so they had to work. And so digitalization and GovTech specifically got really a push this year, and this was actually as well on our side. You know, we noticed it a lot, how much impact COVID had in this digital transformation everywhere in the world, actually, but as well in Luxembourg. The other side, besides of digitalization of public services, we have open innovation. So an open innovation, to be more precise, is to bring in the public procurement process other actors. So before, when a procurement was published, you know, there was the request of having a lot of experiences, to have already this and this and this projects done and realized, etc. And here we try to bring in a more open idea. So the challenges, respectively, the call for, not the challenge, the call for solutions that will be published, they are as well open, and we try to make them open as well for freelancers, for like researchers or university students or even startups, not just big companies with a lot of experiences, but we try to have a little bit of a versatile actors that could participate in this call for solutions. Okay, and I suppose, yeah, that's actually the why we try to bring in a GovTech Lab for Luxembourg. So first, this e-government acceleration and the support that the GovTech Lab can give in our mission to realize it, our mission and CTIE mission exactly. One last thing is, when we get to call for solutions, we will explain it a little bit further. Till we get there, we try actually to, together with the public administration, to define what is your problem. Do you have a digital problem or what would you need to make you more digitized? And in this sense, this is actually the real challenge. So we try to set up a culture of innovation within the public administration as well, where we contact several administrations or ministries and say, okay, what would you like to see changed on digitalization side on your administration? And when we get that, and then we try to select one problematic or that we have, we then launch a call for solution that is based on that. So this is a different step, but later on probably you won't see it as on your side. So the members of LOF probably won't see this part of the definition. They probably will just see the call for solution. Yes.
Perfect. So this would be then my turn to say hello to everyone and to thank a lot the LOF for inviting us today to talking about the GovTech Lab. And I will go a little more in detail on the missions of the GovTech Lab. So the first one, Vera already spoke about it, is about accelerating innovation within the state through the call for solutions and the call for challenges by using this open innovation approach. So actually this first mission is twofold. So on the one hand, we will work together with the ministries and the administrations in order to understand what challenges they are facing of technological digital nature, of course, and that could be solved by using and developing actually new innovative solutions. Once we have identified the challenges, we will transform them into a call for solutions. And in the call for solutions, the idea is to work with external actors. And as Vera mentioned, we target external actors that can be almost everyone, can be physical persons or could be students, researchers, but also startups, companies, freelancers. So we try to be the more open possible in order to get really these innovative ideas into the call for solutions and also maybe at the later stage within the state. So this is actually the idea of this first mission. The second mission of the GovTech Lab is about creating in Luxembourg a GovTech community and organizing specialized events. So here, basically, Luxembourg has a very complete ecosystem actually of actors that are working on innovative solutions. And the GovTech Lab in some way completes this ecosystem and is the platform for the digital needs, the new technologies and innovative solutions at the state level. So this is the idea. And in order to build this GovTech community, so the GovTech Lab will organize events, specialized events. That can be, for example, hackathons, it can be GovJams, but it can also be thematic workshops on dedicated topics that we will choose. And it will be, of course, always of prior need. There will be some need at state level. So it will be always linked to the innovation that we are looking for at state level. We have a third mission. So the GovTech Lab third mission is about becoming actually a reference place and a meeting place for the agents, the state agents that are interested in the GovTech. Because the GovTech Lab will also be, is not yet, but will be also a physical space. Next year, most probably so second half of next year, 2021, when CTIE will move to its new premises, we will also open a physical GovTech Lab. And the GovTech Lab will be an innovation and space, a creativity space that will enable also the state agents and the agents of the CTIE to come there and to test and to explore new ideas.
Quick question, Nadine. I mean,
yes.
Physical space is just to meet and have meetings with the people from the government regarding the project, or is it? Are you going to physically incubate the startups or the project that has been selected?
Mm-hmm. We are not an incubator, so there is no incubation within the GovTech Lab, but the GovTech Lab will be used to organize the meetings of the teams, the challenge teams that we will put in place when we launch, and we will come back to that later on. So when we launch a call for solutions, the team that we take into the process, they will meet physically if we can. So, and the meeting place for those meetings together with the administration that proposed the challenge and also the agents of the CTIE that are experts in that field. So they will take place also at the GovTech Lab, yes, but no incubation. So there are no offices at the GovTech Lab.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, just to complete, actually, if a team, so we go from the principle that if a team wants to stay, like the whole process, it can come. It's open door, you know, that he can work from there. But we are going from this sense that if you develop something digital, you can do it as well from your home. You can. It's just actually, as Nadine said, it's a place to meet. But of course, if the person or the team wants to be there every day, it's open door for them, for the ones that have been chosen. Yeah.
Be careful, Vera. If coffee is good and this is free, you might have too much people, but whatever. We'll discuss that next year.
Yeah.
So here we have the same missions that I just described. And actually, you see that the spirit of the GovTech Lab will be experimenting, exchanging, and innovating. And we will find that also also on the webpage of the GovTech Lab. We have brought also a few pictures of what the GovTech Lab will look like. So we are working on that, even though it's not yet open. So this is what our innovation space will look like. The idea is to have in this space a lot of different possible configuration in order to stimulate the creativity and work on testing ideas and so on. So with this one room with a lot of smaller spaces and rooms. And here we have also a view on our, where we have the presentations and so on. We have also a dedicated place for presentations.
Awesome. Well done. Awesome.
Thank you. And then we go over to Vera, the Innovation Partnership.
So this is a more special part, and I think the part that might be interesting for many of you, for the companies. So we tried actually to innovate as well and to bring in this public procurement something different, be more open. And this openness, you can see it in the format. So we publish it through innovative partnerships. That is actually it is actually allowed in the law of public procurement, and we tried to do that because we are working on several phases, so development phases, and among the solutions, now we have a call for solution that is open now on the public procurement website. And so for this one, Nadine will explain a little bit further, but in general, we from all the candidates that have sent them their proposition, we will choose maximum 5. And this will enter actually the GovTech Lab, or can enter the GovTech Lab, these 5 candidates or teams, 5 teams, but it can be 20 people. So what counts, it's a project. For this first phase, we are there in the prototyping phase. So when you enter the prototyping phase, you can go to the GovTech Lab as well. When it's done, of course, you can go there, you can meet there, you can develop then your prototype there. From this phase, we will finalize it by a demo day where you show what you have done, so your prototype. And for this prototype, you get between 5,000 and 10,000 euros per project. And there will be a jury. So Nadine will explain a bit more afterwards. There will be a jury that is chosen by the jury. And after the demo day, there will be maximum 1 project that is chosen for the proof of concept phase. The proof of concept phase is a very essential phase. It's where you can get a little bit more money, between 15 and 25K, depending on the project and the solution that we are looking for. And this phase is crucial because you can develop them as well with CTIE people. Also, already the prototype phase before, you can meet CTIE people who can maybe support you. You are in contact with the public administration who has launched the call for solutions as well. So you can have a little bit of support to develop that and actually to get guidance on the real needs. And after this phase, the proof of concept phase, when you say, okay, we are done by that. So the CTIE, it's actually, so the government IT center can come and say, your solution, your proof of concept is so good, I would like to buy it actually. And this is the whole big thing. So because, so the actual project that we have that is running, so we estimated it about 100K, but there might be other projects depending on what we are looking for. The amount might be bigger or less, so it depends. But this is actually the whole process that we try to implement. And at the end, if your proof of concept is good, it can be bought. If not, the code source is, so the IP, what is being developed in the GovTech Lab is shared with the CTIE, so you get a little bit of money, but you can go out with the project and start it further. So as in an incubator, but it's not a real incubator, but after then you can leave the GovTech Lab and you can then further, if you want to improve your proof of concept and take it to another level, it's yours, you can do that. So that is the several phases, which actually is based on an innovation partnership, which is very new for public administration in Luxembourg. So that's from my side.
I have to unmute my phone, my mic, it will be better. Maybe something very interesting to add about the innovative partnership is that until now, actually, you usually have 2 markets when you have a research and development phase. You have one market for the one public procurement for the research and development, and then you have to make another public procurement for the buying, actually the sourcing phase. And the innovative partnership combines both. So the advantage is that if you develop the solution, you have the chance also, you most certainly will be the one from whom then we buy also the solution. I think this is very interesting if you compare to classical public procurement. The jury that Vera mentioned, so actually in our process, we have foreseen that all the candidates all the projects are evaluated 2 moments. So the first one is when we get the files in January. I will come back to that. So when we have the files, the jury will make an evaluation, and we will choose out of those evaluations, so the top 5 maximum that will get accepted in the prototype phase. And then later on at the demo day, the same jury, actually, the candidates pitched in front of the same jury, and the idea is to pick one prototype maximum for the proof of concept phase. The jury is the same at the two different phases, and is composed of 7 members. So we have fixed members, which are 3 in total, and it's decision makers in the sense that it's 1 representative from the Ministry for Digitalisation, 1 representative from the CTIE, and 1 representative from the administration that has actually proposed the challenge. So it's the people that have to decide also on whether the solution meets the requirements or not. And they are accompanied by actually variable members, which are experts and advisors. Those 4 people, those 4 members actually are also 2 from internal members, so we choose 1 from the ministry and 1 from the CTIE, and 2 external experts. So if I can give an example, I guess we'll come up very soon with the names of the people. So we choose actually experts that are known for the expertise in the field of the challenge. So I don't know if it's linked to artificial intelligence. We'll most likely look for expert members that are working in the field of artificial intelligence, for example. So this is how a little bit the jury is made up. And I will also go a little bit more in detail on this first call for solutions that we have launched. So the minister officially launched this our first call for solutions on 26th of November, when we had made when he made the press conference, and it's called Bye Bye Robots. Why Bye Bye Robots? Because actually the objective of this first call for solution is to develop an innovative solution that verifies the human character when using online procedures with the Luxembourg state. And the aim of this solution is to replace the current solution, of course. We are not looking for existing solutions. We are really looking for innovative solutions, because we believe that there's a lot of technological evolution, innovation on the market, and that the actual existing solutions can be maybe replaced by something completely different that we are not really aware of now. So we are looking for the innovation. So here you see the big difference between a normal classical public procurement and the innovation partnership public procurement procedure that we chose, because we are not obliged to tell exactly in the detail what we are looking for. We just say what has to be the outcome. So what challenge, what solution we are looking for, but we don't tell the market, okay, we want this and this technology, we want this system or whatsoever. We leave it really up to the people outside that are working in these fields to come up with the technology, the application or whatsoever they feel that could solve the challenge that has been defined. One constraint, of course, is that the solution must be simple, non-binding for the user. It must be innovative, clearly, and it must, of course, guarantee the required security standards that we have. All the information about this new challenge, the challenge are on the public procurement portal. The documents can be downloaded there, and we have also information about the call for solutions on our webpage. But of course, we are here today also to answer the questions you might have on it. We draw down the key dates for this first call for solutions. So the closure for the submission of the files is in 3 weeks' time, so the 4th of January. we have done the pre-selection that we mentioned. So the jury will make the first selection of the 5 candidates maximum that will be taken for the prototype phase. And this will be done by the 15th of January so that we can start actually the prototyping phase by end of January. We have then until mid-March to develop a prototype and to present it in front of the same jury. So it will be mid-March, most probably the 18th of March. So we have the demo day, and the jury will choose maximum 1 candidate, 1 team that will be accepted for the proof of concept phase, so which will last from mid-March to July. So there is additional 4 months to develop a proof of concept of the proposed prototype. This is what we have for this first challenge. And then, of course, we remind you that also the physical GovTech Lab will open in the 2nd semester of 2021. And we also put down some information for you. So I mentioned already the webpage. You can find all relevant information about the GovTech Lab on that. So it's govtechlab.lu. We have the public procurement portal link. So you find information about the call for solutions on the webpage, and on the public procurement portal, you find actually the document, the technical document that you need to download also to prepare your filing. And we have also an email address, so info@govtechlab.lu, where you can contact us anytime.
Perfect. And we'll share the presentation with the participants, if you don't mind, as they don't have to write everything.
No, it was meant that way. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I will let them ask the question, but quickly from my part, because, you know, at the Loft, we try to bring more robots in the system, not less. When you say bye-bye robots, what exactly do you mean by that?
It's actually it's more fancy title, but you probably know capture or reCAPTCHA.
Yes.
So the thing that they do is just to see that you are a human and not a robot. So, and with the CTIE has an identical system that is homemade, which is actually not so fancy and not so innovative. And that's why for a first call for solutions, we tried something more easy, more elementary, to also test once our whole system that we have in place. But it's not that we are against robots. It's just very specifically in this sense. So when you go and enter a website, you have to declare that you are a human and not a robot. That's why the bye-bye robots. So no robots enter here.
For solution related to authentication of people online.
Yes. Okay. For website. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, do we need to reinvent the wheel? Because you say you are looking for very innovative solution and new approaches. If I have a new, let's say, a new kind of capture in place, or facial recognition, and my business is already working with a few companies, can I apply, or do I need to come with something totally new and crazy?
No, you can apply.
Okay.
You can apply. We are looking for, the innovative thing is, if you are a student, probably you have several ideas. You have a concept maybe in mind, but maybe you are maybe not a startup, you haven't developed a final solution yet. Though we want to give these people as well a chance to participate. So you start by sending your concept in, and then you start the prototype phase, and you start a proof of concept phase. But of course, if you have something in mind and you have already something done, why not? And you think this is innovative and your project is chosen, why not? You know. Perfect. But it was just from the beginning not to close the door to a different kind of public that might not be like a researcher. A researcher has a lot of know-how, but he hasn't probably think about it. But if you tell him that, maybe he says, you know what, I have time, why not? You know.
Okay. So I don't need to have a structured company to apply. I can be an individual and I can still apply if my idea is good enough and related to what you guys. Okay,
exactly.
Understood. It's funny that Cassius is writing to me, because it's also a dear friend of mine, Mihai. He has a company in Romania called Typing DNA. And in fact, they follow how you write it. and then it knows it's you, because it's the speed, it's how you push, the strength on your fingers. Those are the kind of solution you look for, right?
Yeah, it's innovative. Yeah, at the end we will analyze, of course, if it's liaised with our standards. Of course, if you have a lot of machine learning, I don't know, but it depends. Of course, I'm not there, maybe not the concrete specialist. We have then to check that anyway. But I think, yeah, the thing is that we want something innovative, something that we wouldn't think about it. I think this is
one element that can also be determining is the user experience, because we know that the user experience, there are a lot of existing solutions, but the user experience is not really that positive and it's not easy for everyone. So if you have some disabilities, let's say, or some problem, you can have problems in getting the captcha right, for example, if you have some personal problem.
Let's jump maybe in the question, because we have so many. I see Anthony, maybe we can open the mic to Pierre and the camera. Pierre, please.
Stop sharing, maybe.
Is Pierre still with us? Yes.
Yes.
Please, yeah.
Yes, hello. Thanks a lot, Vera and Nadine, for your explanations. And I think this is a very excellent initiative that other countries have already started with. You mentioned Israel. There are, of course, many others. In my daily job, I work with different cities like Berlin or, for example, Paris, where there are also startups in GovTech, and I use these solutions for smart cities. It's just an evident case. And what is so important is to have a transversal view. What are the most added value technologies, enabling technologies? Could be AI, it could be blockchain, it could be big data. It is a matter of what is the use case? What do you want to gain? I think, Vera, you mentioned, for example, if we want to have a productivity increase, if we want to raise the user experience, have a better UX for, I see this in cities because I work a lot for cities, and I see, for example, where local tax administrations can make all these templates fully accessible in a way that it is not so cumbersome, that you can download them, that you have them in a cloud. I think there are a lot of possibilities, but the first exercise is always to structure the problem. So what is the problem we want to solve?
Is that more a recommendation than a question? Just to.
Well, I wouldn't dare to make recommendations for Vera and Nadine, but it's just a return on experience when I worked with startups and when I work with solution providers for cities. I see that there's a lot of solutions outside, but the question is not to find as many as possible, but the question is to find what is the minimal solution we need to create a maximum of added value at the lowest possible cost for society. And this optimum solution, so if you define from a philosophy perspective, what is progress? So progress means the best possible solution for the most people at the lowest cost without harming other stakeholders. And I think this should be the first step in an exercise, because I saw when this hasn't been defined correctly that we need to adjust later on. So for me, the question here is, do you have in mind what are the top 5 enabling technologies where you have high or very high expectations? That's the question.
When we say call for solutions, it might not always be linked to technologies. It might as well be a solution that simplifies or digitize a public service in an easy way. Of course, new technologies are a mean to facilitate that. And of course, we have in our ministry like 3 main new technologies that we follow, like big data, IoT, which is actually a new technology where we haven't worked a lot since in 2020, but we will try to do it in 2021 from there on. But we have blockchain, where we publish the public sector blockchain as well, AI together with the Ministry of State media department, where we collaborate in the vision, and AI for Gov, where we try to bring artificial intelligence into public administration as well. So we have several technologies that we concentrate. It's for us as well important to see them evolve. But it's not that all the call for solutions will have to be linked with new technologies. It is, of course, a mean that does it more innovative, which can help actually digitize, but it has not to be. So in this case, probably new technologies might help, of course, like for a new, if you say, I use the word capture, but it's just so this authentication and saying that you are human. So I think you can use a lot of like visual identity. I don't know. So there are many technologies. But we try to filter it through our steps. So the way we have set it up, so we do a first filter, then we choose to a prototype. And of course, the jury that you see, one of its decisionary member is the government IT director. So I suppose that this exchange with the CTIE, which will help us, like from the beginning, select a more appropriate project. So not just to go till the phase of proof of concept and then say, okay, goodbye, this wasn't really that. We try then to filter. Of course, we can try to achieve being perfect, but as well, it is a system that we have to test. But I totally agree with you and your suggestion that it's really like seeing the best solution for less price and being respecting UX, etc. So it's being efficient. I totally agree with you. But we hope that these several steps will help us select in early stage already the best projects.
Thank you so much, Vera. Thank you for your question, Pierre. I hope it helps. We're going to try to condense a little bit the time for the question and the answer. Reina and Mr. Kayoka from Japan, they are online, so they can ask you the question. Please, Reina, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So thank you very much for your wonderful and insightful presentation, Nadine and Vera. And then my name is Reina, and then I have a translation and consulting company here in Luxembourg. And then I'm supporting a Japanese innovative technology company. And we now I'm here with Mr. Koikawa, CEO of that company. And then I have some questions for you. The first question is that you have mentioned the timeline for submission and else for Bye Robot project. But I just want to know, is that only applicable for Bye Robot project, or other project, nothing to do with that cannot submit the prototype or such? And the second question is that this is actually from Mr. Koikawa, CEO of the company. Do you have any data collection solution for GDPR wise? So anything related to, do you have any solution related to data collection like a GDPR? Because this is highly related to our technology. So we'd like to ask you these two questions.
That's a great question. And I had it on my notebook also. Vera, Nadine.
Yes, maybe I can already reply to the first one, and the second one we'll see it. And so it's the first one that is related really to the challenge. So this first challenge is Bye Robots, and it's really linked to this solution that we are looking for. But the GovTech Lab actually will launch a couple of challenges each year. So this is the first one, and you just have to stay connected with the GovTech Lab. And as soon as we will launch the next challenge, you will see what topics this will cover. But this one is strictly related to this solution that we are looking for the identification of the. Okay.
Yeah, actually, this is a little bit the difference from the GovTech Lab regarding to an incubator. So an incubator normally has like a subject and tries to, and you are open if there's space, you as a startup, you can integrate it and develop your product. Here's a bit different. The fact that we publish it through a public procurement really sets the needs and explains the needs and the problematics that we have and the needs and the solutions that we want to bring in. So although like maybe some of you have developed several solutions, you can of course contact us, so feel free to contact us. But the thing is, everything and all the solution will go through this public procurement process. You know, we can meet, of course. We are always happy to meet companies that have new solutions, innovative solutions. But to integrate the GovTech Lab, to integrate this process, everything will go through this call for solutions process, through the public procurement process. So this is actually something that you have to know, which makes us a little bit different from an incubator, where you can integrate, where you can develop your solutions or your projects, you know. But your question regarding a platform for GDPR? Yeah. So the CTIE manages one platform. So we don't have a specific GDPR platform. But if you have like a suggestion, maybe it would be interesting to meet, definitely. But we don't have in Luxembourg the public administration. So every ministry has its own data. So it's not that all the data from Luxembourg is centralized in one. The CTIE manages one platform, which is actually the platform of physical people in Luxembourg. So. Who are you? If you are married, the name of your husband, how many children, etc., etc. So this is the only platform that we have. This is actually the only, but it's not GDPR-like. So we don't have a GDPR platform. But I don't really know what you mean. But I think I know what you mean. But that's why I said it's probably good to meet.
So Rena, please drop them an email so you can take the conversation.
Definitely. Thank you very much for the answer.
Thank you. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you very much.
Next question in line. I think it's Mark or Laurent who's in line.
Laurent, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Laurent Fisch. I'm a lawyer in Luxembourg. I'm very supportive of your initiative. Thank you very much for also your explanations. I have a question how you want to go about identifying the needs of the public administrations, because I think it's all nice to have calls for solutions, but we are, at least in the legal world, in e-justice world, we seem to face an issue of identifying the right problems and mobilizing people to actually embrace innovation to improve the work or to render public justice more accessible or more efficient or whatever the right word is. So generally, I am slightly I'm very interested. What means do you have? What budgets? What triggers? What possibilities do you have to actually get a call for, get a list of problems that can be solved through your structure? Yeah.
If I may, from my side, maybe Nadine can complete afterwards. So we have from one side, on the ministry level, we have set up an interministerial committee where we discuss digitalization in public administration. So each ministry has a representative there. So there is actually, on the governance side, a good mean discuss that as well. On the other side, and Nadine and I, we are looking actually for a more digital platform. So, and this will actually complete the interministerial committee, because in the platform we try then to actually follow up on the call. So we can once per year or twice per year we'll launch a call like what are your problems specifically in this area, or e-government, or internally? What would you need to act? Does the CTIE has enough on digitalized platforms so that you can evolve? So this will be done. These challenges will be done. We try to select the best digital platform to do that digitally as well. And so we have on the more on better regulation side, on simplification administrative, we had several years ago, we had Vos Idées, where every citizen could like send their ideas how to have a better regulation on the governmental side. But what we are doing here is just like to do this culture innovation as well on the public administration side, and try to through this platform try to launch and to get their ideas, UX, but not just that, like really getting their problematics, and to check on the other side, does the CTIE has already this solution? And if not, if they use already CTIE solution, why are there so many problems? And then to come up then with maybe new innovative ideas, and then to send out the call for solutions. So it's actually this coordination platform on the more digitalized way, and on the other side, the interministerial committee, where we can be in touch with all the ministries, and where we try then to see where are the real needs and where are the real problematics.
I would maybe add like a third axis that we are working on, and that will be activated, let's say, next year. That is also organizing internal events on the innovation, and what is innovation, how do I innovate, how can I come up with an innovative idea. So we will also take advantage of having this physical lab also to organize more events on innovation for the state agents actually. But this could be like the third element that completes what Vera said.
Thank you. Hope it answered your question, Laurent. Thank you, Vera. And Mark, please go ahead.
Yes, hello. So thank you very much, and congratulations for the initiative from the ministry. I mean, since all the years, I'm following very intensively the innovation landscape in Luxembourg. Public innovation was always something I got much interested. We had many initiatives there, but now I think really the momentum is there, and it's really fantastic to see this going on, and also how you presented it. Now, I have maybe one or two questions. One is, how do you expect to present these challenges? Now, you tried to explain before how you select, I mean, the potential problems authorities may have in order to bring to look for a solution. But how far do you go in detail when you build up something like like terms of reference? You know, you need to have a framework, and how is this formalized, and at which level does this go in order to give an idea what is really the challenge? Not only let's say the big picture, but also details. And one of the details, obviously, through my job, I'm quite interested in privacy and data protection. So how do you make sure that one of the big principles of privacy by design and by default also is built into, because here you have the chance to build something from scratch, I guess. So it could be easier to build privacy in and be compliant to GDPR, as it was mentioned, instead of having an old machine legacy instruments where these things are much more difficult. So I would be happy to hear your thinkings about that. Thank you very much.
No? Okay, I do that. So we are actually working for the launch of the call for solution. We had developed, and now when we are after the 1st of January, where is the closing, we have several criteria, and these criteria on the first stage to select the 5 projects, they are less severe. We are checking more the competences of the candidates and as well the innovation part. So I think it's more on the phase where we come maybe later on the phase of proof of concept, where these criteria will be integrated. So as you may know, CTIE is an actor that has its standards, and to cope with that, we will select on the criteria based on that as well. How can the candidate pursue these standards, GDPR, privacy, security, but as well the project, how can it be maintained and updated after the challenge, because imagine that the CTIE has bought it, then we come to another stage with another contract, etc. But I think these criteria are very important, and it maybe on the prototype phase, not so. Still not so important, but on the phase of proof of concept and in the phase of buying it, I think these will be criteria that are integrated part of the decision to buy the solution or not.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Good, Mark, did that answer your question? Good.
No.
No. Okay. Well, you can also send an email. We take it offline. Thank you.
I would have one, but I think it's not so relevant in this fact. That would be the Data Governance Act. How this is bringing maybe new or other areas, which is a big topic. But I think it goes beyond this.
I can just say that.
Okay.
Data will be an important subject, I think, everywhere in the whole public administration. I think that as well, the Data Governance Act on the EU level, the reuse of data, how to prepare the data, so data management, but as well to prepare the data that it can be reused, not just between the same, so public sector, but as well public sector and private sector. So I think this is a discussion that is going on, and as well through the Data Governance Act will be, of course, has to be discussed. And data, so we launched our interoperability governance, so that will be start soon. And as you may know, data in the interoperability area is a main subject, right. As well as data management, data treatment, etc. So it's definitely a subject that we are not alone, of course, but that we are looking on. Yeah.
Okay, great. Let's stay in contact on that. Thanks.
Yes, sure. Thanks.
Thank you so much for the question, Mark. Nadine, Vera, thank you so much for your time. I mean, it has been exciting, a very interesting session. As you can see, even people from Japan are joining. Congratulations on the initiative again. I will let maybe Anthony quick summary on what's coming and what has to be done before the end of the year, and then I will give a quick closure. Please, Anthony.
Yes. So I want to thank you, all of you, for being with us today and for having supported us across the whole year since the breakout of the COVID-19. You've been fantastic. We can't bring you a physical gift over to you, but we're happy to bring you our latest application that we have launched last Thursday. If you wanna get hooked on one application, it's going to be ours. 2 seconds, the Loft News application will deliver personalized AI-powered fintech news and information to users as part of the Loft's broader digital era strategy. It's been a pleasure to having you with us. Also, if you don't mind subscribing to our YouTube channel, if you want to support us, that's the way. Please, Alex, back to you.
Thank you so much, Anthony. So yeah, please download the app. You're gonna get all the best news in the world of fintech. And thank you, Manon and Dan, for making the app happen. Listen, guys, it has been a very challenging year, to say the least. At the Loft, we've seen many of our entrepreneurs struggling. on the business, but also on the personal side. And it has been quite difficult for us to see them. But the worst, I think, is, I mean, we all lost maybe friends, having friends lost family members, and our thoughts are always with them. I'm not gonna name, but we all have them in our mind. You know, the most searched word on Google this year has been why. Why COVID is dangerous, why do we need to stay home? And even one of the top 3 is why toilet paper is out of stock. So yeah, true story. Yourself as an entrepreneur, and we had those questions sometimes, is why do you need to bother? Why the sacrifice? Why not looking for a job from 9 to 5, the usual job? We cannot answer those questions for you, but we can answer you one question, is that next year, and it's a promise, we're gonna work even harder at the Loft and most in the incubators in Luxembourg to the what and to the how. So we're gonna try to help you figure out what to do and how to do it next year. Even with all the drama that happened this year, 2020 showed us that Luxembourg is a very resilient country, and it has a very resilient startup ecosystem. And it also shows us how much we like to work together and how much we can help each other. And I would like to take this opportunity for the last webinar of the year to thank all the people in the startup ecosystem in Luxembourg, and mainly you, the entrepreneurs, who are making the sacrifice to make sure that our life in a few years will get better. But also all the institutions that support entrepreneurs and startups in Luxembourg. I'm speaking about the public institutions like Vera and Nadine, but also the private institution, all the incubator, accelerator, too many people to name, but they will recognize themselves. And I would also like to say a huge thank you to all the people that have supported the Loft, our institutional partners, be the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Economy, Luxembourg for Finance, Digital Luxembourg, the Chamber of Commerce, and so many others. And finally, our private partners that, I mean, they put the big bucks to make us running, and also supporting our startups on a daily basis, having this conversation with our entrepreneurs and helping them get better and helping them find business. So thank you for supporting the Loft and the startup ecosystem in the good times, but also in the bad times. It's highly appreciated, and I promise you will not be in vain. So that's it for us. Thank you again for your participation today. The Loft team wish you all a different but great holiday season with your loved ones. Try to take some time off, try to reflect what happened, but more importantly, what will come next year. And it's gonna be a great adventure.